Greetings my dears in love and light, I'm Nikki Sutton. Here are 8 signs that you've had a Kundalini Awakening. Just super quick, what is a Kundalini Awakening? So this is a term we use for the movement of the energy. Everything is energy. The movement of the energy which cleanses us. It is released, usually coming from the base of the spine and moving up through the chakras. As we raise in our level of consciousness, it's like we have an energetic upgrade. And the term Kundalini is more about the physical experiences that we have when this energy is dislodged and moves. And it's all to do with thought as well, thought and realizations that cause this energetic upgrade. All is thought in our reality, and thought manifests our physical body too. And when there's energy there that needs to be cleansed and moved out, it does move, and we can sometimes have these physical symptoms. It's the dislodging and the upgrading of the mind, body and spirit. And you may have a significant Kundalini experience which is unmistakable, or you may have smaller ones where the energy is moving in smaller doses. And oftentimes a Kundalini experience is accompanied by a dislodging of intense emotions, where the subconscious is purging itself out, and sometimes we can experience that in terms of old emotions coming up. Number 1 on ways to know you've had a Kundalini awakening is the physical energetic movement. Now this is often experienced during meditation. So Kundalini is all about the energy. It's described as a serpent that resides at the bottom of the spine, and as Kundalini rises, it rises up through the chakras. And this is the energy rising. So it can be felt physically. You might feel it as a phasing in and out while you're meditating. I experienced it very much as a wave of sort of white noise, but in a physical way. A buzzing or even a stinging. Oftentimes there's a lot of heat involved. You might feel very hot and you might feel it rising, or you might feel very hot in your entire being. You might have visions, you might see colours, you might see red, you might have memories flashing before your eyes. And this is the dislodging of those things which need healing from the subconscious. You may be unable to move. You may feel frozen to the spot during your meditation, totally unable to move. You may feel an energy rush in the form of sudden wanting to move, physical movements jerking around. You may just feel that energy rush through you. So it's different for everyone, but it seems very much like there's something dislodging, something moving, some kind of energy rush, and it comes in different sensations. Number 2 on ways to know you've had a Kundalini awakening is a sudden emotional release. Now, during that experience I just described, when you unmistakably are having a Kundalini experience, you may feel emotions right away. They may be positive or negative, but more likely you feel them after. And it may be straight away after, but in the coming days or weeks or even months, those things which you have repressed in your subconscious mind often come back. And it's the bringing up of old repressions into your conscious mind of today, right there for you to deal with now. And so you might feel sadness, depression, anxiety, guilt, shame, anything which has perhaps dogged you during your life and you have repressed. You see, it's an emotional cleansing. When I say it's an upgrade, it's the need to cleanse and heal those things which need healing within you, so that you can move forward in more love, light and understanding. Your realizations will be more profound if you've healed that which needs healing from your past. So the Kundalini brings it up and you can end up living in it right now. And as happened to me, I worked through it in a couple of months. I worked through it, and for me it was intense anxiety. I got through it and I found that I was okay, that I can still function, and that I was all right. I got through it, and you will get through it too. Now, if you're having a smaller Kundalini experience, it might be a bit of emotion here and there, but if you've got a serious repression in there, it might come up quite significantly and be quite a bit to deal with over a period of time. Number 3, on ways to know you've had a Kundalini awakening, is that old memories might come up, or you may have dreams, or you may have visions as well. So the visions might be symbolic representations of things that have happened in your past. That it may be memories that come up that you suddenly relive that need reconciling and going over again with your conscious mind of today. Or it might be visions that represent how you're feeling, because the subconscious mind communicates very visually, and it can't just say to you, this is what needs healing. It comes up as emotions and visuals and memories and things like that. So you may experience dreams, memories and visions, helping you to understand what needs healing in the subconscious, allowing you to heal it today. Number 4, on ways to know you've had a Kundalini awakening, is that you don't feel yourself, or you feel out of control. So as I said, with all of that's being purged and dislodged and coming up in the mind, plus the energetic experience, you might have a bit of a shock. You don't feel yourself because you're trying to get back to how you were before and find safety again and find mental calmness. And obviously it's not like how you normally are, and this can make you feel a bit out of control. So just take it easy, continue to do the things you normally do, and eventually you'll start to feel better. Number 5, a way to know you've had a Kundalini awakening, is that you might have a sudden change in priorities though, and a new way of thinking. So when you've had a sudden energetic experience and a purging from the subconscious, it might change your perspective on things. The things that need healing, have coloured the way we think today. And if they're brought up to the surface for us to realise certain things about them, it can change how we think today. So it may make you realise, for example, if you've had guilt to do with how you've treated family members in the past, if you suddenly remember all this and it's there in your conscious mind to deal with today, it might change how you interact with your family members today, and you may spend more time with them today. Let's say you've got a repression to do with ideas that have been drummed into you about success when you're younger, and your self-worth is based on your success. If this is brought up in your conscious mind of today as a feeling of being unworthy today, or futility or something like that, and you're having to deal with it today, it might change your attitude towards what defines success today. So you might have a change in priorities, or a change in the way you think. Number 6, on ways to know you've had a Kundalini awakening, is that you might have sudden realizations, or even what seems to be downloads. So when you're having this purging, this upgrading, the energy is dislodging and moving and you're healing, you may have these realizations about reality. You might have a sudden epiphany, for example, that life goes on, that we don't really die, or that certain realizations about the system we live under and what we're supposed to know in this reality but we're not told. There might be sudden realizations for you as you pierce the veil. You may have rememberings, because when we're born we forget everything, and you may remember some of that. So you may have realizations and ideas come to you from the mass consciousness, because we're all connected. Ideas may come and it may be like, wow, oh my gosh, this changed the way I think. Number 7, on ways to know that you've had a Kundalini awakening, is that after a while you feel better than before. So after you've gone through the cleansing part, the energetic part, the physical sensations, and you've had your realizations and healed all those things, you'll feel more cleansed, more balanced, and feel like you've changed somewhat. So you will feel better, because that was the point of all this happening to you. It was a healing. That's what Kundalini is. Kundalini says that it's time for you to have some certain realizations, time for you to heal, so that you can move forward and your ascension and your consciousness can continue to raise. You're ready for something when Kundalini happens, so you'll feel better, more balanced, like you've changed and you've cleansed. Number 8 on ways to know you've had a Kundalini awakening is that you may have little physical sensations again happen to you from time to time. You may have had a little energetic movement, you may have had a big one, but it may happen again from time to time. Your body's used to this now. There may be little cleansings, little purgings that happen as you continue to ascend, as your consciousness continues to rise, as you continue to heal. Everyone's different. You may not have ever had a Kundalini experience, and you may never have one. Your ascension and your realizations may be smooth, and you may not feel too much. But if you are sort of prone to this, and say your realizations are coming quick, the Kundalini might be more likely to happen, and you'll feel this energy rising. So I hope that's helped you today to know whether you've had a Kundalini awakening or not. Let me and others know if you have and what symptoms you experienced. Support this Spiritual Awakening YouTube channel on Patreon and receive weekly bonus videos. You can also choose to receive spiritual guidance via email or spiritual sessions. And remember to click subscribe if you're not already a subscriber to receive regular spiritual inspiration on your journey through life. Like and share also, because we're raising the mass vibration together. So go now in love and peace.